We're gonna go over 20 things that your dogs can and cannot have. Without further ado, let's get started. Number one on this list is chocolate. Chocolate is very toxic for dogs, fam. Chocolate contains two chemicals that are actually very toxic to it, and that is theobromine and caffeine. So if dogs eat enough chocolate, they could actually die. What are the signs and symptoms of chocolate poisoning? Extreme thirst, restlessness, panting, shaking, vomiting, diarrhea, racing heart, excessive urination, seizures, muscle tremors, lethargy, collapse, and coma, amongst others. So if you're thinking you're gonna feed chocolate anyways, if you fed chocolate or your dog mistakenly ate chocolate, do not wait to see symptoms. It could take 6 to 12 hours, and by then it could be lethal. So if your dog mistakenly ate chocolate or you gave it to it, make sure to take it to the vet or emergency vet immediately. If you're far away from a vet, one of the things I would suggest you could actually give your dog is activated charcoal, so it could absorb the rest of the chocolate that the dog actually has in his stomach and his GI tract. Just remember, theobromine could actually stay in your dog's body up to 72 hours before it actually shows you that the dog has been chocolate poisoned. Can dogs eat watermelon? Absolutely. In the summertime, I like giving it to my dogs either frozen or straight out of the fridge so they can cool off. Watermelon is high in vitamin A, B1, B5, B6, and vitamin C. It's high in minerals, including potassium and magnesium. It's high in antioxidants, including beta-carotene and lycopene. It's also low in calories. It's high in water content for hydration. But wait. You can't feed the white part or the green part, that rind. There's something else you gotta make sure you don't give them either, and that's the seeds. So make sure if you're gonna give watermelon to your dogs, you either take the seeds out or you buy it seedless. Make sure you cut out the rind completely around the watermelon, chop it up into cubes or whatnot, and then that's what you can give them. Now, we all know Romans love grapes. They love making wine and whatnot. Now, the question has been asked several times, can dog eat grapes or even raisins? The answer is a redundant no. We don't know what substance is actually toxic to the dogs. What we do know is that even 1 or 2 grapes could actually send your dog into acute renal failure. What are the signs and symptoms of a dog that actually has toxicity from eating raisins or grapes? And that would be lethargy, weakness, vomiting, diarrhea, increased drinking, urination, abdominal pain, dehydration, bad or strong smelling breath, neurological signs such as a head tilt, seizures, or even dizziness. So please do yourself a favor. If you see one of your dogs actually consume grapes or even raisins, make sure you take them down to your vet and get them checked out. Now, can I feed strawberries to my dog? The answer is a redundant yes. It's actually an excellent treat that you could be feeding to your dog. Strawberries are high in vitamin C, B1, B6, and vitamin K. It's high in minerals including potassium, iodine, magnesium, folic acid, loaded with fiber in order to aid in digestion. For those of you that are having skin problems, it actually contains omega-3. Which is actually excellent for the skin and coat. It also contains an enzyme to help with your dog's teeth. So can you feed any kind of strawberries to your dog? The answer of that is absolutely no. You can feed fresh strawberries to your dogs and even frozen, unsweetened strawberries to your dogs. But if the strawberries are packed in syrup, inside of a jelly jar, sugared in any way, or even canned, stay away from it. Now, the question has been asked, can you feed banana to your dogs? And the answer is absolutely yes. Bananas could actually be very beneficial in certain circumstances. So bananas are high in magnesium and potassium, which actually help with muscle soreness if you're working your dogs out, also with the dog's heart and their kidneys. It also contains biotin and vitamin B6. Not to mention, it also has fiber, which will aid in digestion. Now, I already know there's somebody out there thinking, well, if they could eat bananas, they could surely eat banana bread, and the answer is no to that. The bananas that you're feeding are either fresh, they can be frozen as long as they're unsweetened, and never out of a can. Can dogs eat blueberries? Absolutely yes. In fact, blueberries is a superfood even for dogs. It has a very high antioxidant capacity, including flavonoids. Research has shown that inflammation and oxidative stress is the root cause for over 260 diseases. So the blueberry, with this high antioxidant capacity and the flavonoids, is actually going to keep your dog healthy and away from over these 260 diseases. Blueberries are also high in vitamin C and vitamin K, helping your pup's immune system. It's also high in fiber, aiding digestion, nutrient dense, but low in calories. Did you know that 85% of every blueberry is made up of water? So it's good for hydration. So here's a controversial one. I get it all the time. Can I feed garlic to my dogs? Absolutely. Now, before you go running to Google and the first search that you find that says stay clear away from it, just hear me out for a second. Raw garlic contains an enzyme named allanase. Allanase could actually hurt your dog. However, when you crush, mince, or chop raw garlic, allanase actually combines with allicin, an amino acid derivative, to create allicin. And that is safe for your dog because allicin is actually the active medicinal ingredient in garlic that gives those antibiotic properties, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, antiviral, antioxidant. Before you give garlic, make sure your dog is not on medications. If he or she is, make sure to talk to your vet about it. If you're new to feeding garlic, do not feed it to your pregnant females or your puppy. Keep in mind, after crushing, mincing, or chopping garlic, you have to let it sit for 15 minutes before you feed it. So what does the garlic have in it? It has amino acids, sulfur, zinc, potassium, and phosphorus. Contains vitamin A, C, calcium, magnesium, manganese, selenium, germanium, and vitamin B complex. Garlic also helps detoxify the body. Garlic also serves as a liver enhancer, so the liver doesn't have to work as hard to clean the blood. So what are some of the benefits of garlic? It can prevent the formation of blood clots, decrease cholesterol buildup, widens blood vessels, helps prevent the formation of tumors, stimulates the lymphatic system in order to remove waste. It's a natural antibiotic, antifungal, antiparasitic, and anti-cancerous. But wait, there's more. It actually repels fleas and ticks. Just keep in mind, you do have to wait a couple of weeks for garlic to go ahead and build up in the dog's body and seep out as oil on its coat and fur. So next time somebody tells you that you shouldn't be feeding garlic to your dog, make sure you take them to this video in this particular part so they can get a little educated. Now, garlic should be fed in moderation. Don't go running now and feeding 2 or 3 cloves of garlic per dog. As a rule, we give 1 garlic clove per day for every 100 pounds. So if you have a 50-pound dog, I would give half of a clove per day, as long as it's not contraindicated with any medication I'm giving and I've spoken it over with my dog. All right, can dogs eat onions? Absolutely not. No, never. Never. You see, onions contain a toxic principle known as N-propyl disulfide. It causes breakdown of red blood cells inside of the dog, leading to anemia. What are the signs and symptoms of onion toxicity? Vomiting, diarrhea, loss of appetite, lethargy, weakness, pale gums, rapid heart rate, trouble breathing, reddish urination. So if your dog eats onions, whether they're cooked or not, whether they're coming out of a can, whether they're coming out of a bottle, if they've been freeze-dried, I don't care. Run over to your vet. Can you feed your dog cinnamon? The answer is yes. Cinnamon is not toxic for dogs. However, the amount of cinnamon that you're actually going to be feeding and how it is going to be delivered, that can make a difference. Hear me out. We sprinkle cinnamon all the time in our barf diet recipes. Key word being sprinkle, because cinnamon will cause the blood sugar to drop. So if you have a dog that's on medications or is older or has some sort of pancreas compromise, you might want to stay away from actually giving cinnamon. Now, even though cinnamon is not toxic for dogs, you want to stay away from giving things like nutmeg or cinnamon bun or cinnabuns or anything like that. You want to give cinnamon, if you're going to give it, as close to its purest form as possible. Don't ever give your dog cinnamon essential oil, as it can be very toxic not only to adult dogs but also puppies. I will tell you, here in the United States, there's 2 types of cinnamon. There's Ceylon and KC cinnamon. Now, Ceylon cinnamon is preferable for dogs because it has lower levels of coumarin, and coumarin in large doses can actually be toxic. So what can cinnamon do for your dog? It's an anti-inflammatory. It also helps manage your dog's blood sugar, which means if your dog is diabetic, it can actually help it out. Fights the spread of bacteria, viruses, and fungi. And it also has antioxidants. I get asked all the time, what type of supplements do you feed your dogs? The only 2 supplements I feed my dogs are NuVet Plus and NuJoint Plus. This is a multivitamin with all the vitamin and minerals that your dog needs. This is joint support, which together with this will actually help your dog's soft tissue. If you want more information on these supplements that we give our dogs, I'll go ahead and leave a link down below in the description. All right, so here's another one that's a bit controversial. Can I feed my dog avocado? Now, before you jump off your seat, hear me out. Avocado trees contain a fungicidal toxin named persin. And this particular toxin is actually more concentrated on the leaves the pit, and the skin of the avocado. However, there are low levels contained in the flesh as well. Now, avocados do offer some benefits. I would suggest you don't feed avocados altogether unless your vet is offering you a particular product that contains it in a particular way. Now, if your dog does eat an avocado, I would suggest you go to the vet. Just make sure you get him checked out. Make sure you're able to check out what your dog ate, if it was actually the skin, if it ate the pit, because remember, those two things have a higher level of person. Can my dogs eat peanut butter? Yes, but there's always a but, right? But here's the but. There's actually an artificial sweetener. It's named xylitol. This stuff could kill your dog even if it consumes small amounts. As long as you're getting, say, as organic peanut butter as you can get without all these other additives, in particular this xylitol, if you look at the ingredients on the bottle and it says just peanuts, then you're good to go. Can you feed mangoes? Absolutely. Mangoes are high in fiber, proteins, minerals, loaded with antioxidants, including beta carotene, contains vitamin B, B6, vitamin C, vitamin E, as well as vitamin A. For those of you looking to improve skin, coat, and reproduction. Can also help with an upset stomach. And last but not least, can help with diarrhea or constipation. But there's always a but. There's a particular way that you need to feed it. First and foremost, you should begin with a small amount. This way you can rule out whether your dog is allergic to mangoes or not. Secondly, you definitely want to peel the skin off. It contains something called urushiol, a chemical related to poison ivy and poison oak. If your dog eats it, it may end up being nauseous, may even want to throw up. Also, make sure to remove the pit. It could definitely be a choking hazard for your dog. Remember, never feed fruits that are either in syrup or have been sugared or even dry. Make sure the mango is simply fresh and that you cut it into cubes. That's it for mango. Can dogs eat carrots? Absolutely. I give it to them pretty much almost every day. Carrots are high in potassium, antioxidant, vitamin A, vitamin K, vitamin B6, beta carotene, calcium, and iron. It's also low in calories and high in fiber. But here's the kicker. Carrots can actually help support your dog's dental health. They actually contain an enzyme that can help clean and keep your dog's teeth white. Carrots. Make sure to give it to them. Can your dogs eat pineapples? Absolutely. But there's always a but, right? But you got to make sure to feed it in moderation. Do not feed it from a can. Make sure it's not sweetened or dry. Now, what benefits does a pineapple offer? Well, first of all, 82 to 86% of pineapple is nothing more than water. So it's going to keep them hydrated, especially now in the hot days. Pineapple also has an antioxidant that helps repair damaged cells. It also contains vitamin C, which is going to give your dog's immune system a boost. Also has vitamin B6, which is good for body and brain function. Pineapples are also high in fiber, which is going to help your dog's digestive system. Here's the kicker about pineapple that I just learned recently. It actually makes your dog's ligaments and tissues and soft tissues stronger. So for those of you walking around with a dog that's east-west, pineapples might be something that could help. Also, rounding out and helping your dog's immune system, pineapples also contain calcium, phosphorus, and zinc. Go to the next one. Can dogs eat eggs? Absolutely. In fact, I give my dogs raw eggs on a daily. Now, what does eggs provide to your dog? They provide amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins. The egg yolk alone contains 12 different vitamins. Eggs are high in minerals, calcium, phosphorus, potassium, copper, magnesium, manganese, selenium, iron, zinc, you name it. I'm sure there's several of you out there wanting to ask, can you feed quail eggs? Yes. Duck eggs? Yes. Turkey eggs? Yes. Can dogs eat apples? Absolutely. My dogs get apple maybe 2 or 3 times in a week. But there's always a but. You got to make sure to remove the stems and the seed and cores. Make sure to cut the apple into small little square pieces. The core in particular can be a choking hazard. Now, when you start feeding apples, you need to make sure you start out with small amounts. There are some dogs that will get upset stomach while they're eating apples. So what are the benefits of apples for dogs? They're low calorie and excellent source for vitamins A, C, calcium, and phosphorus. You ever heard the term probiotic? Well, guess what? This has high fiber, which actually acts as prebiotic, and this will help support your dog's gastrointestinal health. About 86% of apples is nothing more than water, so it's a good way to hydrate your dog as well. Though not a sub for daily brushing, it could actually help in controlling the amount of tartar your dog will produce on his teeth. Apples also are high in antioxidants and polyphenols, which will help with the immune system and may ward off cancer. Can your dogs eat green beans? Absolutely. If you look at our barf diet video, I always give green beans, whatever it is that I'm giving. It's my number one go-to. The reason for that is because they're low calorie, they're high in calcium and vitamins. Like they have vitamin A for your dog's eyesight, vitamin C for your dog's immune system, which helps with wound healing. Vitamin B provides coenzymes to help break down food for energy. And vitamin K helps your dog's blood clot adequately. It's also high in iron and fiber, so it's going to regulate your dog's digestive system, making them go regularly, and also high in water. So you could give green beans pretty much in any form as long as nothing has been added. So whether they come in a can, they're fresh, or they're frozen, they're good to go. Make sure to chop them up into smaller bite-sized pieces so it doesn't become a choking hazard. But there's always a but, right? Keep an eye out for your dog having excessive diarrhea, gas, or vomiting. If any one of these present, then you definitely want to lower the amount of green beans you're giving. Can dogs eat French fries? The answer to that is kind of complicated. See, potatoes is a vegetable. They actually provide vitamins. They're high in carbohydrates, which is a source of energy. They even have vitamin C and magnesium. The problem lies in the oil that the potatoes fried in. You should never be fried. As a rule of thumb, anything that's bad for humans is usually bad for dogs. Now, if you're eating fries and whatnot and your dog scarfs up one or two from the ground, no big deal. You don't want your dog to eat the entire portion of large fries because they don't have the ability to break down the fats or the oils that were used to make the French fries. So maybe somebody out there is thinking, well, then we could just give them raw potatoes. The answer to that is no. Don't ever give your dog raw potatoes. There's actually something in there that is toxic for dogs. But I'm going to give you an alternative. Turn your attention to the sweet potato. You could actually find sweet potato fries recipes online for your dogs. It's actually a healthy treat and is high in fiber, which is going to help with their digestive system. So stay away from French fries. Can you feed chicken nuggets to your dogs? It is highly not recommended. For one, it must be fried, so anything fried is not going to be good for your dog. In addition, you're probably thinking that the protein content from the chicken is actually good for the dog. Problem is that protein content comes second to the batter. The batter is actually one of the worst things you could actually give to your dog. So even though chicken nuggets do provide certain vitamins and protein content, don't fool yourself. Don't feed it to your dogs. The risk definitely outweighs the benefit. The next one on this list is cheese. Can your dog eat cheese? Just know that while cheese is not toxic for dogs, all dogs are born lactose intolerant. They don't have the enzymes to break cheese down. So if you're dealing with diarrhea or gas or anything like that, you might want to stay away from cheese. Also, you don't want to feed fatty cheese because dogs lack the enzymes to actually break down cheese. Cheese can actually cause a lot of weight gain. If your dog has had pancreatitis, stay away from cheese. Always make sure to choose low-fat cheese for your dog. Avoid spicy cheeses. I actually use cheese to give my garlic with and also to entice my dogs whenever we're feeding kibble and they're getting tired of it. But I'm talking about just a sprinkle. Are there any nutritional benefits? Yeah, there is some calcium in cheese that will actually help your dog out. I would also start feeding cheese in small amounts. Because they don't have these enzymes, you don't know exactly how they're going to react to it. You may have a dog that gets rather gassy or goes straight into diarrhea. All in all, cheese is not a bad thing. But make sure you're only giving it occasionally. Guys, we just about wrapped it up. If you like the content that we're giving you, if you want to know about raw diet, barf diet recipes, if you want to know about garlic and how we break it down for you, or any one of our other top lists, make sure to go ahead and click on this playlist here, and we'll catch you on the other side.
Claro que sí, cabrón.